What's the most destructive weapon that you've ever imagined? Well, take that and multiply it by 100. Because right now, we'll show you the 15 scariest military weapons that you won't believe exist. Grab your bulletproof vest and your alarm systems, because these weapons are some serious business. Remember to stay until the end to find out about all these outstanding weapons. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to receive more awesome content like this. Let's get started. Number 15. Phaser. The Personnel Halting and Stimulation Response Rifle was created as a non-lethal weapon for soldiers and law enforcement officials for hostile situations. In the past, blinding laser weapons have been tested, but were banned under the 1995 UN Protocol on Blinding Laser Weapons, which the United States acceded to on 21 January 2009. Even though the phaser rifle has a temporary blinding effect and low-intensity laser, it's not prohibited under this regulation. It also uses a 2-wavelength laser. This rifle fires lasers into the enemy's eyes and blinds them temporarily. The weapon uses a rangefinder to make sure the lasers aren't too intense. It renders people extremely disoriented at inopportune moments. Number 14. Smart Bullet.
The D-shaped bullet contains a microsensor that detects acceleration and deceleration.
The Smart Bullet was designed to have ultimate control. It can turn, speed up, slow down, and even send data back to the user. The bullet is 4 inches long and has small fins, making it look like a dart. The shooter operates it by shining a laser at its target, and the bullet will follow the target without being deterred by strong winds. One type of Smart Bullet is a projectile that can change its course during flight. One use of this would be to enable soldiers to stay behind protective cover and shoot around corners. Another implementation uses a spoiler and a micro gyro to control the bullet. Isn't that scary? Number 13. The Dora Cannon. Developed by Nazis during World War II, the Gustav Dora Cannon, or merely the Dora Cannon, weighed 2.7 million pounds and was considered a super weapon. The cannon could fire shells up to 14,000 pounds and had a range of 90 miles. It was the world's most massive gun, heavy and complicated. The world's largest Dora ensemble is in the Military History Museum in the Bundeswehr in Dresden. Number 12. Vomit Gun.
Non-lethal weapon that induces hallucinations and vomiting among enemy combatants has been fitted to 2 Russian warships.
Even though it may sound ridiculous, the vomit gun was very, very real. The Navy supported its development, and it was designed to be a non-lethal weapon. The vomit gun can use radio waves to penetrate walls, and as the waves reach the victims will feel dizzy and may get the urge to vomit. Though the military eventually abandoned the project, 2 other people were able to make a vomit gun out of spare computer parts successfully. Number 11. The XM-25 Smart Grenade Launcher. Nicknamed by the Afghan soldiers as the Punisher, the XM-25 Smart Grenade Launcher was designed in 2010 for the United States troops in Afghanistan. It's gas-operated and semi-automatic, and it features a ballistic computer, environmental sensors, and a digital compass. It can fire 25mm shells up to 2,300 feet, and soldiers can eerily program the shells to explode at any time. Number 10. The Corner Shot. The corner shot is a weapon explicitly designed so that the enemy will never see your eyes. A miniature camera and LCD screen sub in for the gunner's eyes as the front half of the rifle bends around corners to shoot targets without the operator having to come into the open. It works by mounting a semi-automatic pistol to the hinged front half with remote linkage to the trigger at the rear and can swivel through a 120-degree range. Number 9. The Trophy Active Defense System. On their own, tanks are frightening machines. So what could make these heavily armored vehicles any more unstoppable? How about an invisible force field? Okay, the Trophy Active Defense System isn't literally a force field, but it's as close as any countermeasure has yet come. The ADS can detect rocket-propelled grenades and other low-tech munitions in time to target and return pinpointed fire, destroying the munitions in mid-air. The ADS is capable of tracking multiple targets in nearly any direction, rendering tanks with the equipment roughly bulletproof. Number 8. Metal Storm. Metal Storm is an Australian company that's been developing a line of weapons that use stacked projectiles. Stack projectile weapons are different from traditional guns as they have no moving parts. Instead of loading a bullet into a chamber and having a mechanism such as a hammer initiate its firing, the metal storm weapons use electronics to control the firing sequence. Bullets are tightly lined up within the gun. They're packed between an explosive fuel, and the result of which is a weapon that can fire at a much higher rate than a traditional automatic. One bullet enters the barrel before the last is left, which creates a torrent of ammunition with firepower, just like a high-powered comic book-style laser. Number 7. Cyborg Moths. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, has been working to develop cyborg spy moths. DARPA, the research arm of the Department of Defense, has already successfully implanted chips in cockroaches and rats, allowing humans to drive the animals with joysticks. In the case of moths, the chip will be inserted at the pupal stage so that the animal grows around it and develops a reliable tissue-machine interface. The spy moth will then be released at the front lines and remotely piloted into enemy territory, potentially beaming back video and audio feeds along the way. Number 6. The Navy's Railgun. The Navy is exploring the possibilities of trading the explosive energy of conventional warheads for kinetic energy using simple projectiles. It may sound like a step backward, but when you see the prototype railgun in action, firing a 7-pound shell at 7 times the speed of sound, you start to understand the power generated by tremendous acceleration. With the finished product, a 5-meter target can be hit from 200 nautical miles away. Number 5. Active Denial System. The United States Air Force has borrowed a page out of the Marines naming convention's book with a device more commonly known as the heat ray. The heat ray looks like a nondescript satellite dish mounted on the back of a military-grade news truck, but instead of gathering and focus radio waves coming in, the weapon focuses millimeter waves, similar to microwaves but shorter, and sends them out. The effect of these waves against human skin produces a sensation of intense burning, in which people are reportedly only able to stand for a few seconds. The military claims the waves penetrate the skin by only 1/64th of an inch and cause no lasting damage. However, the system is still in the early stages and is yet unproven in the field. Number 4. Airborne Laser. The Air Force is on its way to having a modified 747 ready as early as 2009 to shoot down missiles from the sky with, you guessed it, a massive laser. Known as the Airborne Laser, the craft will house a multi-megawatt chemical oxygen iodine laser capable of hitting a target many hundreds of miles away. At its core, it's the same basic technology as found in a drugstore laser pointer, only a billion times more powerful. While the aircraft was scheduled for its first live target test in 2009, the laser and the airplane have yet to be tested together. Number 3. Pigeon Projected Missiles. Another project called Project Pigeon was an effort to create a pigeon-guided bomb. The birds were trained using B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning to home in on a target shown on a screen and then peck at it when they found it. The project was scrapped in 1944 and then revived in 1948 under the name Project Orcon. Eventually, newer electronic guidance systems proved to be more valuable. An exhibit at the American History Museum in Washington, D.C. details the history of this avian instrument of war. Number 2. The Pentagon's laser-induced plasma effect weapon. The Pentagon is working on a weapon that uses lasers and plasma to transmit sound files, even human speech, directly to individual people at great distances. The lasers could be beamed down from military planes or other vehicles to issue instructions to disperse crowds of protesters or otherwise disgruntled people in the area. Number 1. The Air Force's Counter-Unmanned Aircraft System Tech. The laser weapon, which can be mounted onto the back of a vehicle, is designed to help the Air Force take down hostile drones. The laser itself can fire dozens of shots per charge, according to Raytheon, but the Air Force could also hook it up to a generator to deliver a nearly infinite number of shots, the contractor said. We hope you enjoyed our list of the 15 scariest military weapons. Which of these weapons was scarier to you? Don't hesitate to comment down below. Also, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to receive more exciting content like today, remember to turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. We'll see you next time.